Statistically speaking, you are far more likely to be a theist if you're born in Rwanda, one of the most Catholic countries in the world, than if you're born in Thailand, which is like 90-something% Buddhist, and Buddhism is atheistic, therefore you don't believe in God. So if Christianity is true, for example, then your place of birth is a statistically reliable indicator of how likely you are to be saved.
So Alex O'Connor here is talking about how the statistical likelihood of you being a certain religion depends on your geography. Now, although this seems true, and it may be true in some level, let's see what Islam says about it. So within the realm of Islam, if you're born to some tribe that doesn't believe in Islam, maybe they're atheistic, maybe they're another religion, are you held accountable for adopting that belief? Well, the Quran says in the 17th chapter, whoever is guided is only guided for his own soul, and whoever errs only errs against it. And no bearer of burdens will bear the burden of another, and never would we punish until we sent a messenger. And there's a hadith where the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, says that the one who's not exposed to Islam in this world, on the Day of Judgment, he'll have a separate test that's tailor-made for them, because it's not just for God to judge you based on you not being exposed to the truth. However, for the rest of the world that has exposure, has social media, has the internet, they do have the opportunity to connect with the one true God and to see what's true and what's not. In fact, the Quran says in the 2nd chapter, when talking about the belief of Jews or Christians, it says, produce your proof if you should be truthful. The Quran says in many different places, if you believe in a different God or a different religion, to produce your proof for that religion. And that obviously implies that Islam has its own set of proofs. Now, what God does is He gives us the freedom of choice to look through all these different religions to see which one is true and which one has the objective evidence and the logical and rational evidence. And no matter where you're born, no matter what tribe you're born to, no matter what family you're born to, no matter what religion you're born to, our test in this life is to decipher through the falsehood and to come to the one true religion. But this is not forced on anyone, as the Quran also says, La ikraha fid din, there is no compulsion in the acceptance of religion.
Know what I mean? There are so many problems as to God's seeming arbitrary desire and ability to reveal himself to some and not to others. There are those who even don't want to believe in God. And there are those of us who go, please, just give me something. And they get nothing.
So what Alex O'Connor says in the second part of this video is, why would God hide himself from some people and show himself to others? Now, within Islam, this is not the way that we look at it. As God sent us the Quran, which is the final revelation of God, and it's equally accessible to the majority of humanity as of right now. For the people that weren't exposed to it, for example, the people in the Americas during the time of early Islam, they have that separate test that I mentioned earlier, but they're not held accountable for not being Muslim. But for people like us, God is giving us all an equal chance to read and investigate this religion, see the prophecies, see the miracles, see that this book 1,400 years ago contains information that could not have been known back then, such as embryology, how the stars in the solar system works, how the mountains are pegs on Earth. I'll make a whole nother video about this, but the overarching point here is that God is giving us all a fair choice. It's just up to us and our sincerity to accept it or to reject it. So I hope that helps clear up the Islamic view regarding this problem, and I'll see you in the next one. Assalamu alaikum.